Welcome to dBNp's Top 10. Today we're doing the top 10 athletes of all time. Number 10, Rocky Marciano. He was also known as the Brockton Blockbuster. Some of his achievements during his career was he knocked out boxing legend Joe Louis in 1951 to earn an opportunity to fight for the title. He won 49 straight fights in his career. 43 of these were knockouts. He knocked out Jersey Joe Walcott in the 13th round to win the heavyweight championship. He was named the Fighter of the Year by the Ring magazine in 1952, 1954, and 1955. He defended his title as the World Heavyweight Champion 6 times, 5 of which were knockouts. Final career match ended with a knockout of Archie Moore. He became the only boxing champion to retire undefeated and stay retired. Rocky Marciano was an amazing boxer of his time. The reason we have him as number 10 on our list is because back then the mob ran most things in boxing. So there's a lot of speculation and divided journalists and sport enthusiasts who can't really decide whether or not he was really this great fighter or not. I, for one, believe that he was an amazing fighter, and he did a lot for the sport of boxing. Number 9. Number 9 on our list is Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice was pretty amazing. And there's so many stats and things that we could go over. But to just narrow it down, talk about Rice's NFL honors. In 1985, he was the All-Rookie, also the NFC Rookie of the Year. In 86, he was Sports Illustrated Player of the Year. 87, he was All-Pro, NFL Player of the Year, and Sports Illustrated's Player of the Year. In 88, he was the All-NFC, the Pro Bowl, All-Pro. In 1989, he was the Super Bowl MVP. It goes on and on and on because he really did have a lot of honors, such as in 1990 he was All NFC, NFL Player of the Year, Sports Illustrated Player of the Year. Pretty much a trend with Jerry Rice. So that's why he made number 9 on our top 10 athletes of all time. Number 8, Wilt Chamberlain. Now Wilt Chamberlain was an amazing basketball player, and it's usually said that he was second only to Michael Jordan. Now the man has so many records, some which still stand today, that it's hard to go through all of them. He holds the record for most points per game in a season, 50.4 in the 1961-62 season. Chamberlain also holds the next 2 spots with 44.8 in 1962-63 and 38.4 in 1960-1961. He also holds the record for most points in a season with 4,029 in 1961 and 62. Chamberlain holds the next highest with 3,586 in 1960-61. So as you can see, in the sport of basketball, he was pretty dominant, especially when it came to scoring. Number 7. Number 7 on our list is a name that everybody should know. It's Mickey Mantle. In 1964, Mickey Mantle was inducted into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. On Mickey Mantle Day, which is June 8, 1969, in addition to the retirement of his uniform number 7, Mantle was given a plaque that hung on the center field wall at Yankee Stadium, near the monuments to Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Miller Huggins. The plaque was given to him by Joe DiMaggio, and Mantle then gave DiMaggio a similar plaque, telling the crowd Joe DiMaggio deserves to be higher. Mickey Mantle actually was one of the top players in as far as baseball was ever concerned. And as I said, they retired his jersey in 1969. He was amazing. And beginning in 1997, the Topps Baseball Card Company retired the card number 7 and its base sets in tribute to Mantle. Number 6. Number 6 is a name that should be pretty well known in any household, even if you don't watch the PGA. It's Tiger Woods. Woods has won 79 official PGA Tour events, second only to Sam Snead, and 6 ahead of Jack Nicklaus with 73 wins. Woods has also won 14 majors, second all-time behind Jack Nicklaus. Woods is 14-1 when going into the final round of major with least share of the lead. Woods' scoring average in 2000 is the lowest in PGA Tour history, both adjusted and unadjusted. Woods has the lowest career scoring average in the PGA Tour history, and Woods has amassed the most career earnings of any player in the PGA Tour history. His accolades and stats go on for a while. He is very dominant in the PGA. Number 5. Number 5 brings us to a whole new breed of athletes. Bo Jackson. In June 1982, Jackson was selected by the New York Yankees in the second round of the 1982 Major League Baseball draft, but he instead chose to attend Auburn University on a football scholarship. His college baseball, Jackson batted .401 with 17 home runs and 43 RBIs in 1985. In college football, in 1982, Jackson's freshman year, Auburn played Boston College in the Tangerine Bowl, where Jackson made a one-handed grab on an option pitch. Auburn went on to win the game 33-26 as Jackson rushed 14 times for 64 yards and 2 touchdowns. College track and field. Jackson qualified for the NCAA Nationals in the 100-meter dash as a freshman and sophomore in his career. A historic moment for Bo Jackson. On November 27, 1982, Bo Jackson and the Auburn Tigers found themselves embattled with their heated in-state rival Alabama in the Iron Bowl in Birmingham, Alabama. Auburn held a 14-13 halftime lead with Alabama's running back Paul Ott Carath scored on an 8-yard touchdown run, and then the Crimson Tide added a field goal to make it 22-14. Alabama lead going into the fourth quarter. Auburn responded as Al Del Greco made a 23-yard field goal to make it 22-17 score in the fourth quarter. From Auburn's own 34-yard line, Bo Jackson and company began a long drive as he converted on a 4th and 1 at the Alabama 42. Jackson, who ran 17 times for 114 yards during the Iron Bowl, continued marching his team downfield as he caught an 8-yard pass from quarterback Randy Campbell down to the Alabama 1-yard line. On 4th down with 2:26 left in the game, Jackson completed the drive by going over the top for a 1-yard touchdown run as Auburn finished 9-3 in 82, pulled off a 23-22 victory over Alabama. Bo Jackson also played baseball for the Kansas City Royals, the Chicago White Sox. He then played football for Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 1986. We could go on and on and on about what this athlete did, but he played baseball and football and was even in track and field. It takes a special kind of athlete to be good at 2 different sports and even qualify for the NCAA in another. Number 4. Number 4, we know it's going to raise a little bit of speculation and could even cause some heated dispute. But number 4 in our eyes is Dan Marino. He's a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. During Marino's career, the Dolphins were perennial playoff contenders, reaching the postseason in 10 of his 17 seasons. He was selected to play in 9 Pro Bowls, 1983-87, 1991-92, and 1994-95. 7 times as a starter, but due to injuries, he only played in 2 of the games, 1984 and 1992. He was named first or second team All-Pro 8 times and earned all AFC honors 6 times. Marino won the 1998 NFL Man of the Year award for his charitable works off the field, making him one of the elite players to have won both NFL MVP and NFL Man of the Year awards. In 1999, Marino was ranked number 27 on the Sporting News list of 100 greatest football players, making him the highest-ranking Dolphins player. In 2010, he was ranked number 25 on the NFL's top 100 greatest players list. Marino was known for his quick release, and despite the fact that he was not skilled at scrambling, Marino possessed an uncanny awareness in the pocket, often sliding a step or two to avoid his pass rush. Marino is currently 4th behind Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, and John Elway on the list of most wins by a starting quarterback with 147. His winning percentage was .613. Now, the reason that we have him so high on the list is because the man accomplished all of this, and though it can be disputed, he never had a great team to work with. He never had that star wide receiver. He never had an amazing team to help with his records. So that's why he's number 4 on our list of top 10 athletes of all time. Number 3. Number 3 of our top 10 athletes might come as a surprise to some. Maybe because he should have been number 2. Some may think that he should have been number 1. But in our eyes, he fell at number 3. Muhammad Ali. He was named the Ring Fighter of the Year for 1963, 1972, 74, 75, and 1978. Named the Boxing Writers Association of America's Fighter of the Year for 1965, 1974, and 75. He was named Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year for 1974. Named the Ring Fighter of the Decade for 1970s. Inducted into the U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame in 1983. Received the Boxing Writers Association of America James J. Walker Memorial Award for 1984. He was inducted into the World Boxing Hall of Fame in 1986. He was also inducted into the Ring Boxing Hall of Fame in 1987. He was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1990. Named Athlete of the Century by GQ Magazine in 1998. Named Sports Personality of the Century by the BBC in 1999. Named Sportsman of the 20th Century by Sports Illustrated in 1999. Awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by U.S. President George W. Bush in 2005. Inducted into the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame in 2010. Cassius Clay was an amazing boxer. Number 2 in our top 10 athletes of all time brings us to the same type of breed of athlete as Bo Jackson, but this man takes it a step further. Jim Thorpe. Jim Thorpe began his athletic career at Carlisle Indian Industrial School. I'm not sure if I said that right. Don't hang me. His earliest track and field results are from 1907. Thorpe also competed in football, baseball, lacrosse, and won the 1912 Intercollegiate Ballroom Dancing Championship. Jim Thorpe first played professional football in 1913 with the Pine Valley Pros in Indiana. Thorpe signed with the Canton Bulldogs in 1915. They paid him $250 a game, a very large salary for the time. In addition to his great ability, Canton also gained the most recognized name in sport. Thorpe led Canton to unofficial world titles in 1916, 1917, and 1919. Canton was one of 14 teams organized in the American Professional Football Association, APFA, in 1920, which became the National Football League, the NFL. Thorpe served as the APFA's first president while playing for Canton. After his amateur status was removed, Jim Thorpe had one professional option: baseball. At the time, baseball was the only established professional sport in the United States. Declared a free agent, he had his pick of baseball teams to play for. He chose the New York Giants. Thorpe signed with the Giants in 1913 and played as a reserve for the club until 1917, when he was sold to the Cincinnati Reds. Late in the 1917 season, he was sold back to the Giants and played sparingly for the club until he was traded to the Boston Braves in 1919. Thorpe's career numbers were average. He scored 91 runs, had 82 runs batted in, and finished his major league career with a .252 batting average over 289 games. Jim Thorpe was another athlete who could play just about any sport, and for that, he's number 2 on our top 10 athletes of all time. Number 1. Our number 1 top 10 athlete of all time should not come as a surprise to anybody. Number 1 is Michael Jordan. Achievements over his career: total games of 1,264. Scored 0 to 10 points in 15 games. Scored 10 plus points in 1,249 games. Scored 20 plus points in 1,106 games. 30 plus in 673 games, 40 plus in 212 games, 50 plus in 39 games, and 60 points or more in 5 games. Now, some of his records might have been taken over. NBA records and former records. For the regular season, seasons leading the league in scoring: 1986 to 87, 1992 to 93, 1995 to 96, 1997 to 98. Consecutive seasons leading the league in scoring: 1986 to 87, 1992 to 93. He also holds second, tied with Wilt Chamberlain. Seasons leading the league in total points: 1984 to 85, 1986 to 87, 1992 to 93, 1995 to 96, 1997 to 98. In his rookie year, 1984 to 85, Jordan led the league in points scored, but was third in scoring average behind Bernard King and Larry Bird. Highest scoring average points per game career, 30.12. Seasons averaging 30 or more points per game, 8. Games scoring 30 or more points career, 562. Game scoring 20 or more points career, 926, which was broken by Karl Malone. Consecutive game scoring 10 or more points, 866, March 25, 1986 to December 26, 2001. 840 with the Chicago Bulls, 26 with the Washington Wizards. Jordan failed to score in double digits only once as a Bull. Consecutive points scored in a game, 23 versus Atlanta Hawks, April 16, 1987. Occurred during the last 6:33 of the second quarter, 17 points, and the first 2:12 of third quarter, 6 points. Broken since then by several players. Jordan scored 61 points and set or tied several league records in this game. Jordan also scored 18 consecutive points, all in the fourth quarter versus the New York Knicks on November 21st, 1986. Season scoring 2,000 or more points. 1984 to 85, 1986 to 87, 1992 to 93, 1995 to 96, 1997 to 98. There were 11 in total, which was broken by Karl Malone in 2000. Oldest player in NBA history to lead the league in scoring, 35 years, 61 days. Oldest player in NBA history to score 50 points in a game, 38 years, 315 days. Oldest player in NBA history to score 40 points in a game, 40 years and 4 days. Jordan is also the only player to score 40-plus at age 40 or older. In his final season, Jordan scored 40-plus 3 times, 30-plus 9 times, and 20-plus 42 times. Fewest games played to reach 31,000 points, 1,011 games. Fewest games played to reach 32,000 points, 1,059 games. Field goals. Seasons leading the league in field goals, 10. Consecutive seasons leading the league in field goals made, 7. Also holds second. Seasons leading the league in field goal attempts, 9. Free throws made, half, 20. Free throws made quarter, 14, twice. 14 fourth quarter Utah Jazz, November 15, 1989. 14 fourth quarter at Miami Heat, December 30th, 1992. This was broken by Vince Carter on December 23, 2005. Jordan also made 13 free throws in the second quarter of his last regular season game as a Bull versus the New York Knicks on April 18, 1998. The records continue and go on and on and on. The reason Michael Jordan was chosen to be our #1 athlete of all time is not because he was so amazing at every sport ever made. It was because no one has been as dominant in any sport since Michael Jordan. I've been your host, GTS the King, and this has been dBNp's Top 10 athletes of all time.